sky ain't nice the same. The stars, the moon. Is this the power of the Chaos Emeralds? Is this another world? Or is it time travel? Am I alone?
Right when the film was rejected, I jumped on MySpace and DeviantArt to vent my frustrations of the struggle I endured to get this dream project of mine made. Some people believed me, some didn't, and that really affected me because I put so much time, money, and effort into this, and nobody seemed to care. And it sucks when you don't have a shoulder to cry on, especially in a fan base that has basically exiled you from their community. So, a couple days later from that post, I get a response from someone who went by the name Spax3. Now, I understand that even though he was infamous for his own discrepancies, I had no fucking clue who he was. But his response was so convincing enough for me to trust him. So, I guess in short, he expressed his sympathies for my failures and suggested to revive my project as something fan-made. He stated claims of being this quote-unquote professional voice actor who had friends that would be willing to assist me. So, his words seemed legit, and I continued my conversations with him to see where this would all lead. And as many know, it wasn't anything good. It was just a clusterfuck of a production crew since nobody was being professional or taking their roles seriously. So when the fanbase caught wind of his involvement, I was dogpiled, which put me in a precarious position of letting him go from the project. But that was inevitable anyway, since his Sonic impression was just fucking terrible. I tried to be delicate as possible, but he went ballistic and started this online drama with me and my crew as well, which delayed production. So it was quite the headache he put me through.
This was Rich Kuda, the guy who made that crappy 2D Sonic movie. I was originally going to do the voice of Sonic for him. He started treating me like crap, and he pretty much came off in a way that made it sound like if I don't devote 100% to him, even when, I wasn't feeling well, he basically just wasn't going to keep me around. This caused me to make a mistake on my end. I actually got sick on one day, and I didn't tell him this. I told him I would try to work as soon as I finished up something, basically to convince him to let me stay on, because I felt like if I told him I was sick, that he was going to let me go no matter what, though that was my mistake. Then he just instantly said he was going to let me go, but I managed to get him to agree to pretty much let me stay on. But he was trying to get this additional director who, at the time, I was not on good terms with, because this person did something that almost got one of my friends in really big trouble. I'm not going to say who. And at first I thought he understood this. I spent all of that day and the next day helping him. But the day after that, he started this bullshit up all over again, despite me not doing any of the things he said. And he was expecting me to believe them. In fact, this guy bullshits a lot of people, so not really surprising. But yeah, he said he was going to let me and this other person go who was... In fact, it turns out this other person was the one who convinced him. And this other person was actually the person who was originally going to direct me, and as I said, I was not on good terms with. I guess kind of a conspiracy was being caused. I don't know. But when I found out he lied to me about firing both me and this other person, I lost it, because I went through enough shit earlier that year, some of which involved me being betrayed by someone I really trust, ending up in a psych ward because people thought I was suicidal when I wasn't, which you can already imagine the madness that caused. And of course, being betrayed by another person I'll say by name in a moment. But yeah, I lost it, and I basically made the lawsuit threat on him too, but again, I was being psychotic, I was being insane, so I was not really in a sane state of mind, so I fucked up. I handled that very poorly. I was not in the right. But at the same time, this guy did screw me over, so I had every right to be angry as well. And one thing I actually want to mention that he really screwed me over on, he lied to me about a person once and almost caused me to have them commit suicide because I, believed what Rich Kuda said about this person. That has traumatized the hell out of me. And I'm never going to let it go, and I have every reason not to let it go. If you almost get someone killed, and they're innocent, you're not going to be able to let that go. Now, I'm just going to say, beyond what I've said, please do not go after Rich Kuda. Please do not do anything to him, because he is not doing anything right now. And as long as it stays that way, I think we're good. Me and some other people are giving him a chance to try to mend his ways, and I want to make sure we can let him stick to that. Besides, if he's antagonized too much, he could do something that both not only he would regret, but that we could regret. And that's also a point I'm going to get to in a moment. But yeah, that fact alone is pretty much why I brought up his name.